Last night.
That's right. All right, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope everybody had a great week. We're ready to start Shabbat. Let's open the Siddur. We're going to turn to page 5. But before we begin the Kabbalat Shabbat, we'll go ahead and light our Shabbat candles. So anybody want to volunteer to light the candles?
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Yasher Koach. Thank you, Ellen. You know, I could start with a joke about how many Jews does it take to light the Shabbat candles. But funny enough, a lot of people don't realize that actually every Jew is halakhically required to light Shabbat candles. So if somebody's traveling and they don't have the female head of the household with them, and you're just a man or somebody who identifies as neither, you're still required to light Shabbat candles because every single person is required to do it. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. And we will begin with Shalom Aleichem at the bottom of page 5 in the Siddur. Again, page 5. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech, malachei hamalachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Baruch hu ni leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. Seitchem leshalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu. We'll turn ahead to page 11, and we'll continue with Lechu Neranena, Psalm 95 at the top of the page. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Ladonai. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Ladonai. Naria, Naria, Letzuri Shenu, Nekadma fanav betodah, Naria, Naria, letzuri shenu, bizmirot Naria lo. Lechu neranena, Lechu neranena, Lechu neranena, Ladonai. Lechu neranena, Lechu neranena, Lechu neranena, Ladonai. The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice, the sea and its fullness roar, the meadows and all that grows in them exult, even the trees of the forest shall sing praise, as Adonai comes to judge the earth, judging lands with righteousness and people with divine truth. We'll continue with Yismechu Hashamayim on page 14. Yismechu hashamayim hashamayim Yismechu hashamayim hashamayim Yismechu hashamayim Betagel haaretz Yismechu hashamayim hashamayim Yismechu hashamayim hashamayim Yismechu hashamayim Betagel haaretz Yiram hayam Yiram hayam Yiram hayam Umlo Yiram hayam Yiram hayam Yiram hayam Umlo Yismechu hashamayim hashamayim Yismechu hashamayim hashamayim Yismechu hashamayim Betagel haaretz. Exalt Adonai our God and bow down at God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy. And we'll continue now with Romemu on page 20, the bottom of the Hebrew section where the arrow is pointing inward, 3 lines from the bottom, page 20. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodesho. And we'll now turn the page to page 21. And we'll continue with Psalm 29, Mizmor LeDavid. Please rise. Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai Bnei Elim, Havul Adonai Kavod Va'oz, Havul Adonai Kevod Shemo, Ishtachavu Adonai Behadrat Kodesh, Kol Adonai Al Hamayim, El HaKavod Hirim Adonai Al Mayim Rabim Kol Adonai Ba'koach Kol Adonai Behadar Kol Adonai Shover Arazim Vayeshaber Adonai Et Arzei HaLevanon Vayarkidem kemo egel Levanon Vesirion kemo ben re'emim Kol Adonai chotzev lavotesh Kol Adonai yachil Adonai midbar kadesh Kol Adonai yechol el hayalot vayechesof yeharot uvehechalot kulo omer kavod Adonai lamabul yashav Vayeshev Adonai melech leolam Adonai oz le'amo yitein Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. And you may be seated. And we'll continue now with Lecha Dodi, starting on page 23. And we will sing together the first 2 stanzas on 23, the middle stanza on 24, and the final stanza on 25. When we get to the final stanza, we'll rise again and face the entrance to welcome Shabbat. Pages 23 through 25. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, Pene Shabbat nekabel la 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 lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor bedibur echad. Hishmi'anu el meyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shem ultiferet velitchila la 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 lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Likarat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha. Ki hi mekor haberacha. Merosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machashava techila la 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 lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Middle of 24. Hitoreri. Kiva orech kumiori. Uri shir daberi. Kevod Adonai Allah yichnig la 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 lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Bottom of 25. Please rise and face the entrance. Boi v'shalom ateret bala. Gam besimcha uvetzola. Toch emunei am segula. Boi chala. La 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 lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela la 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 lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Okay, and you may be seated. Lecha dodi is that prayer, that song, the hymn, whatever you want to call it, that officially welcomes Shabbat. So even if you sing Lecha dodi early before Shabbat starts, you're technically liturgically starting Shabbat early. So now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and continue with the Psalm for Shabbat on page 27 at the top. Mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, lehagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunatecha baleilot, ale asor va'ale navel, ale higayon bechinor, mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, ulezamer leshimcha elyon. The righteous flourish like the date palm, thrive like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in our God's courtyards. Middle page 28, Tzadikat Tamar. Tzadikat Tamar yiferach ke'erez balvanon iskeshetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu Yaferihu Od Yenuvun Beseva Deshenim Verananim Iyu Lehagid yashar Adonai, Tsuri, Tsuri, Belo avalat habo. Before we continue with the Mariv evening service, I'd like to invite everyone to turn to page 178. We are going to include the prayer for the state of Israel. Of course, as each day, as each week goes by with the current conflict, we continue to pray that the conflict will end and that no more lives will be lost and the hostages will be returned. And so with that in mind, we'll sing the beginning of Avinu Shabbat Shamayim, and then we'll read the prayer in English on the English side of the page. Top of 178. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Sur Yisrael Vegoalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Sur Yisrael Vegoalo. Barech, Barech, et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Smichat Geulateinu, Hagen Aleha Bevrat Chastecha, Ufros Aleha Sukat Shalomecha. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Sur Yisrael Vegoalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Sur Yisrael Vegoalo. Avinu Sheba Shamayim, stronghold and redeemer of the people Israel, bless the state of Israel, that it may be the beginning of our redemption. Shield it with your love, spread over it the shelter of your peace, guide its leaders and advisors with your light and your truth. Help them with your good counsel, strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land, deliver them, crown their efforts with triumph. Bless the land with peace and its inhabitants with lasting joy, and let us say, Amen. We'll now turn a few pages back to page 173, and we will continue with the Misha Berach prayer for those who are ill. We will begin by singing the Debbie Friedman version of the Misha Berach that's on the top left-hand corner of the page, and then we'll read through the names that are on our list. And if you have a name you want to add this evening, please go ahead and rise. And after we read through the names, you'll be able to say the name out loud. And of course, we're always thinking about our loved ones who are in need of healing when we say their names and when we sing this prayer. Once again, top left-hand corner of page 173. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Tal ben Sarah, Shoshana bat Yocheved, Ilya Yisrael Richter ben Rachel, Chaviva Eliana bat Sarah, Fegahana bat Sima, Ira Zelig ben Yehudit, Binyamin Leib ben Devorah, Yaakov Achana bat Rivka Simcha, Asher ben Leah, Harav Yaakov ben Esther, Binyamin Yosef ben Nechama Chana, Shena Razel bat Sima, Aviva Rachel bat Devorah Leah, Leah bat Sarah, Esther Tenenbaum, Harvey Ruskin, Diane Chodorow, Rachel Langer, Lee Gershon, Jack Azuz, Gloria Yoder, Batya Podos, Harold Albert, Andrea Kotke, Jennifer Brown Lerner, Eva Curis, Ken Gasser, Harvey Kulchin, Marilyn Lafer, Jennifer Hayden, Julia Damerow, Diana Nguyen, Betty Harvey, Manoach Finston, Doreen Klosky, Frances Gilston, Elva Pineda, Deborah Diamond, Stanley Satz, Judy Pitkovsky, Liba Fried, Nancy Levick, and Ernest Edinger.
Mary Cameron Rose, Angelina Lee, Amy Stone, turn mechanics.
Anybody else in person would like to add a name? Is there anybody online who would like to add a name?
Rodney Satz.
Thank you. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May they all find the healing that they so need and so deserve. We'll now continue with the Mariv evening service. We'll turn back to page 39a, and I invite everyone to rise for the Baruch Hu at the top of the page. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. Lai 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 lai. You may be seated. I invite everyone to join me in English on the English side of 39a in the middle of the page. Baruch Atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets a succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tsevaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch Atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. U'mavir yom u'mevin laila, u'mavdil ben yom u'vein laila, Adonai Tsevaot Shemo. El Chai v'Kayam Tamim Lo Chalinu Le'olam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai HaMahari V'Aravim. We'll turn to page 40 and we'll continue with Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amecha Ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shokveinu u'v'kumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu be'orech yameinu, be'orech yameinu. Uvahem nege yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. Be'avatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Sarah, come up and help us with Shman Ve'ahavta. We'll continue on the top of page 41. Sarah, who is having her bat mitzvah next weekend, is going to lead us. Nice and loud.
Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Ve'ahavta
Et Adonai Elohecha בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. Awesome job. Thank you, and great job, Sarah. We'll continue now privately with the second and third paragraphs of the Shema, page 42. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Adonai Elohechem Emet, top of 43a. Emet ve'emuna kol zot ve'kayam aleinu, ki hu Adonai Eloheinu, ve'ein zulato, va'anachnu Yisrael Amo. God brought Israel from its midst to lasting freedom and led them through the divided water of the Sea of Reeds. As their pursuers and enemies drowned in the depths, God's children beheld the power of the divine. They praised and acknowledged God's name willingly, accepting God's sovereignty. And then Moses, Miriam, and the people of Israel joyfully sang unto you. Top of page 44. We'll continue with Mi Chamocha. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, malchutecha ra'u v'anecha, bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe, ze'ili anu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch, לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פד אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל Yisrael. We'll continue now with Hashkivenu, the nighttime prayer for peace, top of page 45. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך, והודנו Hoshienu leman shemecha. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, God, watch over and deliver us, and you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Uferos aleinu sukat shelomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We'll continue now with Vishamru and Chatzi Kaddish on page 46. Please rise. Vishamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasot et HaShabbat ledorotam beritot. Vishamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat, Lasot et HaShabbat ledorotam berית olam. Beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti leolam, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash, veshamru bnei Yisrael et hashabbat, Lasot et HaShabbat ledorotam berית olam. Yitgadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'almad yivarach kirutei, ve'amlich malchutei, ve'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala, Uvizman kariv veimeru, amen. Yehi shemei
Maya,
Yitbarach ve'ishtabach v'yitba'ach v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalhal shmei dekurishah barichu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma ve'imeru, amen. We'll continue now with the silent Amida that begins on page 47 and concludes on page 52. you are still reciting the Amidah, please continue. We will now turn to the middle of page 54. Yitkadal vitkadash merabah. Be'almadi v'rakirutei v'amlich malchutei b'chayechonu v'yomechonu v'chay d'chol Beit Yisrael b'avalav v'zman karim v'yimeru. Amen. Yehi shemei rabba mevarach le'alam u'le'al me'almaya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei l'kudesha b'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nachamata da'amiran be'alma v'yimeru. Amen. Titkabal salotahon avatahon dechol Yisrael kodam avahon divishmaya v'yimeru. Amen. Yehi shlam rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen. We will continue now with the Friday night Kiddush. I invite everyone to turn to page 55 and also to please rise. And if you would like any grape juice, we do have some cups here that will be going around. Once again, page 55. Savarim Anan Verabanan Verabotai, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Borei Peri Hagafen, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, V'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho, V'ahava uvratzon inchilanu, Zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, Ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh, Zecher litziat Mitzrayim, Ki avanu v'acharta, Ve'otanu kidashta, Mikol ha'amim, Ve'shabbat kodshecha, Ve'ahava uvratzon, Hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Chaim. We'll continue with Aleinu, page 56. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gedula le'otzer reshit, shelo asanu ke'oye ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo samach elkeinu b'hem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו ואין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס עולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת, אין עוד, על כן נקבל אחרון אלוהינו. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו echad. We will now take a moment to remember those in our community that are no longer with us. This Shabbat, we remember the yard sites of Beverly Engel, Deanna Papauser, Harold Garden Schwartz, John Noonmaker, Leo Berman, Mark Eagleman, Martin Herman, Melvin Klosky, Morris Pitkovsky, Ray Rosenblum, Rhoda London, Sam Chernoff, Sarah Galanter, Daniel Spector, Donald Kaufman, Helen Galanter, Herman Schwartz, Ida Feit, and Pauline Sinowitz. And if there's anybody else you are remembering, please take a moment to remember them in your mind and in your heart, and may their memory be for goodness and for a blessing. We'll continue with Mourner's Kaddish, page 58. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divara Kirute ve'amlich Malchute, B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol Beit Israel, Ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam alalme almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal Shemei Kudisha Barichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shamaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. And you may be seated. In a few moments, we will conclude with Adon Olam, but before then, we will have a few announcements.
Okay, thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, this Sunday, we're having active shooter training here at the synagogue from 2 to 4 p.m. That's in the event that there's an emergency with an attacker with firearms. The class will be taught by Special Agent Mike Hopkins of the FBI. And it's just to train us what to do, and specifically in this building, in the event that there is an active shooter incident. It's free. Everyone is welcome to attend. Again, it's this Sunday from 2 to 4. Okay. This Sunday morning and every Sunday morning, there's a rally in support of the Israeli hostages who are still being held in Gaza. It's part of a national movement called Run for Their Lives. It meets 10 o'clock at the JCC, kind of around and back to the right of the building where the gazebo is and near where the running track is. A bunch of people get together from all the synagogues and Jewish organizations around here, other people who are sympathetic, several churches as well, send members. There's a short ceremony, usually the reading of names of hostages, maybe a few words, maybe a prayer, and then a short walk around the JCC grounds. That's Sunday mornings, 10 o'clock. Everyone is welcome, just drop in. And that, I think, is about, well, Vicky, the Sisterhood Honey Sale, is it still going on?
It is. You have to pay for shipping. It's still ordered.
Sorry?
You have to pay for shipping now.
Yes,
It's still
yep.
ordered.
August 8th was the deadline. You got to pay for shipping. Up until when can you place orders?
I don't know. I think it's like the 12th.
Something like September 12th. That's about what I thought as well. Okay, and that's all I've got. And yes, Jimmy, please. Sorry? Kosher Co-op. Why don't you come on up, because I think you know more than I do.
So the Kosher Co-op, the men's club run that, and the deadline for ordering is on the 21st, which is Wednesday at midnight. So if you do it anytime that day, you'll be fine. And if you don't want a whole case, there are people that want to split with you, and you can also work that out with them as well. So it's a great way to kind of get the things you need for the upcoming Hagim.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy. Okay, Rabbi.
All right, thank you. And as I mentioned earlier, next week we're going to be celebrating Sarah Heck's bat mitzvah. There you are. So you moved seats. We will have a musical service in honor of the bat mitzvah at 6 o'clock next Friday night, and that'll be in the sanctuary. And not only am I going to play guitar, but Sarah's father is going to play guitar as well. So, Adam, we're looking forward to that. And then, of course, Shabbat morning next week, not tomorrow, but next week, we will be starting at 9 o'clock a.m. In order to fit everything in for the bat mitzvah. So please keep that in mind. Again, 9 o'clock instead of 9:30 next Shabbat, August 24th. So please mark your calendars for that. All right. With that, we will conclude with Adon Olam on page 211. Adon Olam asher malach beterem kol yetzir nivra le'et nasa v'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kiklot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu hoveh ve'hu hiye betifara Adon Olam asher malach beterem kol yetzir nivra le'et nasa v'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra vehu echad ve'ein sheni lehamshir lo lehachmira beli reshit beli tachlit velo haoz ve'hamisra Adon Olam asher malach beterem kol yetzir nivra le'et nasa v'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra vehu eli v'chai goali betzor chevli be'et tzara vehu nisi umanos li menat kosi beyom ekra Adon Olam asher malach beterem kol yetzir nivra le'et nasa bechefso kol azay melech shemo nikra beyado avkid ruchi be'et ishan be'aira ve'im ruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira Adon Olam asher malach beterem kol yetzir nivra le'et nasa v'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Please join us in the lobby for a small oneg, and we'll see you tomorrow. Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, 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 Am Yisrael Chai. Good Shabbos.